Of course, we have from the Pakistani High Commission, we have Mr. Manzoor, we have the deputy head of the mission, and we have also Mr.
Rahim.
Mr. Rahim. It's a tradition in our club that we always invite the dignitaries, especially the head of missions, and we present them with the honorary membership of the club so they can come anytime they want. May I present you with the membership card for the club?
Thank you very much.
Most
Very
welcome.
kind. Very kind.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Very happy.
The tradition in our programs in the club is in conversation with FCC. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. We also give you these.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the club. Thank you.
We have just started this program to promote relation and to interact with the head of the foreign mission, especially for our foreign correspondent who is based in South Asia and cover the region from here. So we have made it a traditional practice, and that's one of the traditional practices that we had. The former High Commissioner and the new High Commissioner gratefully agreed to come to us. Now, the format of the program will be that he will have an opening remark, after which we will open for a question and answer. And please wait for the mic till you get the chance to speak. The priority on the questions goes to the foreign correspondent members, and then we will give our Indian colleagues the second chance. There is no discrimination, but we'd like to have our members really asking the question first. And we will see His Excellency timing, within what time he can be stay with us. Without any further delay, I may tell His Excellency to start his remarks, his briefing. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. Let me begin by thanking Dr. Awad and the Foreign Correspondents Club of South Asia for inviting me. When we penciled in this introduction about 3 weeks ago, I was planning to go from here to the airport to take a PIA flight for Pakistan. But now, as you all know, that the Foreign Secretary's meeting has been cancelled. So this afternoon, instead of going to the airport, I will be going to a restaurant for a private but important lunch at 1 o'clock. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Let me begin by saying that Pakistan's foreign policy has 3 interconnected objectives, broadly speaking. First is to promote peace and security in this region, in South Asia and beyond. Our second foreign policy objective is to align our foreign policy to Pakistan's socio-economic development and development in the region as a whole. And the third broad objective is to work with the members of the international community to promote an international system, an international order based on judicious legal frameworks. Now, in the context of regional peace and security, you would appreciate that Pakistan for the last 30-35 years has been facing multiple challenges. After 9/11, we have been facing the challenge of terrorism, which has incurred hugely on Pakistan. Over the last 11-12 years, we have lost over 15,000 of our innocent civilians, as well as over 5,000 security personnel. According to World Bank reports,
just let me adjust this mic, this guy.
According to World Bank reports, Pakistan has also lost close to 100
1
billion.
second. Just you use this one. Just use this one. Yeah.
$100 billion in the last 10-11 years. Now you all know that our armed forces are carrying out Zarb-e-Azb operation in North Waziristan following the failure or the collapse of political engagement with the TTP. So we are resolved to cleanse our territory from all militants without any discrimination. And we hope that this operation will come to a conclusion within 8 to 10 weeks. At the same time, in order to promote peace and security in the region, you will agree with me that stability and peace in Afghanistan is a sine qua non for our own stability. Accordingly, Pakistan has been in the forefront to promote national reconciliation in Afghanistan. As you all know that the presidential elections have been held there. So we hope and sincerely hope that as a result of the talks going on in Afghanistan, the country will move towards peace and stability. Because without peace in Afghanistan, we cannot imagine peace in Pakistan. Because the two situations are inextricably intertwined. So we genuinely hope that Pakistan will continue playing its positive role towards promoting an Afghan-led and an Afghan-owned national reconciliation process there. In the same spirit, we pursue a good neighborly and normal relationship with India. We are convinced in Pakistan that our problems with India can only be resolved through peaceful means and through a result-oriented and meaningful dialogue process. And it should also be underlined that peace is in our mutual interest.
Part of the In Conversation series that Foreign Correspondents Club holds. So we'll go back to what Abdul Basit was saying.
Appreciate comment here. Prime Minister Modi's speech on the Independence Day, when he very explicitly said that SAR countries need to work together in order to fight the poverty which is rampant in this region. So we need to work together with a view to addressing all these challenges. And if we work together, we are placed in a far better position to address these shared or common challenges. As you all know, that soon after his election, Prime Minister-elect of India invited our Prime Minister to attend his swearing-in ceremony, and our Prime Minister, in sync with his vision, peace for development and development for peace, responded to his invitation and attended the oath-taking ceremony. On the 27th of May, the two Prime Ministers also met and had a very positive, constructive meeting. And they reiterated their commitment that the time has come for the two countries to move from confrontation to cooperation. They also agreed that the two foreign secretaries should meet and take a stock of the state of relations and also agree or discuss future course of engagement. Now you all know that the Foreign Secretary meeting, which was scheduled in Islamabad for 25th of August this month, has been cancelled. And reacting to this development, our Foreign Office issued a statement terming this a setback. But here I would like to underline that Pakistan stands by its commitment. It stands by the vision which has been articulated by our Prime Minister. We attach enormous importance to have a peaceful, normal relationship with India. And we will continue working towards that objective. We understand it's a complex relationship, but I would agree with my many Indian friends that the time has come that we need to move forward. I can tell you one thing, that in Pakistan there is national consensus to promote normal relations with India, and for that to happen, I think it is important that we engage in a comprehensive and meaningful dialogue process. I am glad to report to you that since our Prime Ministers met in New Delhi in May this year, we have come a long way. Exchanges have been taking place, be it in the economic sector. As a matter of fact, about a week or 10 days ago, Pakistan-India Joint Business Forum met in New Delhi, and now they are hammering out details as to how we can take the agenda of economic cooperation forward. We are arranging single country exhibitions in India, in Pakistan. We are having more and more cultural, sporting events. So things are, moving on the positive track. So we in Pakistan are very optimistic that this positivity which has come out of our leaders meeting in New Delhi will sustain in the months and years ahead. And we would not allow distractions. And to that end, I can tell you that Pakistan is moving ahead with a seriousness of purpose, with a sincerity of purpose, and there is no reason we should lose hope in building a strong bilateral relationship, because there are so many things on which our two countries see eye to eye. On so many regional and international issues, our positions converge. So if Pakistan and India work together, if SAARC is vitalized, I can assure you that the sky is the limit. So we are very conscious of our responsibility. We are very conscious of our commitment to a peaceful process with India. So we would not allow this process to be distracted in any way. You will find Pakistan seriously committed to this process, and I, as Pakistan representative to India, will spare no effort to make this process useful and mutually beneficial. At the end of the day, both our countries need to work together on the basis of mutual respect and mutual interest. So that is, I think, is the bottom line, and I think both our sides, India, Pakistan, both are willing to move ahead. And let's build on the bonhomie which stemmed from the meeting between our two leaders, and you will find Pakistan very much sticking to this agenda. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. High Commissioner. I open the floor for question and answer. I might invite our foreign correspondent to come forward. Yes, ma'am.
Name and introduction.
Yes, please name and state your, the organization you represent. Thank you.
Rahman, I represent the Guardian newspaper. The Times of India in its editorial today suggested that Delhi should open direct negotiations with the Pakistan army. In a recent TV discussion, Najam Sethi suggested that for back-channel diplomacy, it would be a good idea if a retired Pakistan army chief was the Pakistani interlocutor. Just two questions. One, has back-channel talks begun, or even the preliminaries for beginning back-channel talks? And two, what is your reaction to Mr. Sethi's suggestion that from the Pakistani side, the former army chief should be the interlocutor? Thanks.
Yeah, this actually is your. Yeah.
As for the back channel, it hasn't yet begun. And as for your second question, it's just an idea, so I would not really like to speculate on that. And we do not have yet any nomination for the back channel as to who will be from our side to conducting that.
Yes, Padma.
Padma Rao, Rajpati Daily newspaper. It's subject, the newspaper reports over your meetings with the various council
So you
members.
can't hear you properly.
The meeting,
Yeah, you speak without this.
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
your meetings with the various council members over the past few days. I'd just like to know, was there, I do realize that there is a line of argument that says that you've met the various council members, previous high commissioners under previous governments. But now there is a new government in place. Surely there must have been some kind of a reading or perception in Islamabad prior to these meetings as to the likelihood of a new government in New Delhi reacting in a different way.
You can answer for me.
No, this has been a long-standing practice, as was mentioned or articulated by our Foreign Office in their press release. So beyond that, I have nothing to really add to this. This has been a long-standing practice, and this was in the larger context of exploring peaceful means towards, resolving the issue. Here I must, emphasize that both India and Pakistan agree that Jammu and Kashmir is a bilateral dispute. Whether it is UN resolutions, it is Shimla Accord, it is a composite dialogue, both sides agree that this is a dispute which needs to be resolved peacefully. So beyond that, it would ill behoove me to say anything. But I think both our countries are committed to resolve this issue peacefully, and we will continue working towards that end. So we do not see any problem.
Yes, please. Yeah. Venkat.
This is Venkat Narayan. I write for the newspaper. Excellency, considering the sensitivity of the new Indian government, could you not have considered calling off your meetings with the various leaders when the Indian Foreign Secretary telephoned to you on Monday and said if you are going to go ahead with these talks, the Foreign Secretary talks will be called off? And where do we go from there now?
Where do you go from there now?
As I told you, this has been a long-standing practice. We have been meeting Hurriyat leaders, Kashmiri leaders for now over decades. And our Foreign Office has very adequately articulated our position. So beyond that, I would not really like to add anything to that. So as to where we go from here, we will see. But as I underscored earlier, Pakistan is committed to finding peaceful solutions to our problems. And though it's a setback that the Indian Foreign Secretary would not be visiting Pakistan and that meeting has been cancelled, but diplomacy is the art of possible, and we will persevere in finding peaceful solutions to our problems. So this setback should not disappoint us or discourage us in finding ways and means as to how to take the process forward in line with our leadership on both sides of the. So we will try our maximum to see as to how this process can be taken forward. We owe it to our leaders to implement, translate their vision into reality.
Yes, please, yeah. Anil.
Mr. Basit here, I am Anil Bhatt. I write for a number of newspapers.
Okay, sorry.
Connected to this previous question, when two countries talk as elected with representatives of or heads of elected governments, what use or what relevance does a separatist outfit have in these dialogues or preceding these dialogues? And again connected to this, can these talks continue with violence across the borders perpetrated from Pakistan's side? Thank you.
That is your viewpoint, and you are entitled to your views. But as far as Kashmiris are concerned, they are legitimate stakeholder in the process of finding peaceful resolution to the problem. As I said earlier, we have been meeting Kashmiri leaders for the last 20 years or so. So this is not a new phenomenon which has been injected by Pakistan. This is going on now for years and years and years. And the objective of this interaction with Kashmiris is not, it is precisely to engage all stakeholders in order to find a viable, peaceful solution to the problem. So that needs to be emphasized. We need to look at this issue dispassionately, in a more realistic manner. I know you have your national position, we have our national positions. But at the same time, I think it is incumbent upon us to look at these issues more dispassionately and see as to whether or not these engagements can be helpful to exploring peaceful ways, peaceful means towards reaching a viable, just solution to the problem. So that is our objective and our aim. Beyond that, there is nothing. So I would encourage you and all my Indian friends to look at this dispassionately, and as was said by one of my very respected Indian friends, that this needs to be looked at more positively. So this is what I can say in response to your question.
Thank you. Can I just ask people, please be brief with your questions because we want to take the maximum from everybody. Yes, please.
High Commissioner,
Where are you, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
High Commissioner, you spoke the appreciation of Prime Minister Modi's invitation to your Prime Minister President. But since then, and especially given the events of the last 22 hours, is it your perception and the perception of your government that this new Indian government's approach to Pakistan is substantially different from previous governments? And if so, what does that mean for relations between the two countries?
I would not like to indulge whether it is different or not, because that is for you to make your own assessment. What I would say is that when the two prime ministers met in New Delhi they defined the bilateral agenda in terms of moving from confrontation to cooperation. And that is what we are working for since May this year. And that continues to be our main template with a view to moving forward. So that is the guideline for us. And as I told you earlier, we will continue moving in that direction.
John?
Despite the custom and practice that you've explained for 3 times, and I've had a meeting with her in the past, that's custom and practice. Why were you not prepared when you realised how serious the Indian government would regard meetings this time? Why didn't you consider, or did you consider, changing the custom and practice, and on this occasion, in order to let the go ahead, not have those meetings? Why did you go ahead with those meetings when you realised, when you were told by the Indian government that it was so serious?
No, I see your point, but we strongly believe that our interaction is helpful to the process itself. It's helpful to finding peaceful solutions to the problem. It's important to engage with all stakeholders. So that is the bottom line for us.
And more important to do that than to have meetings, than to have the meeting.
Sorry?
More important to have that dialogue than to have.
No, I think it is not the either-or question. We need to engage with all the stakeholders. It's not the either-or question as far as we are concerned. We are engaging with India, and the effort should be to find peaceful ways and encourage a peaceful process, and that is what our objective is.
Yes, please.
So we just wanted to check on, why do you think the Pakistan side always think that India is the natural representative of Jammu and Kashmir people? There can be other people as well. And second question is back home. Is it true that Mr. Nawaz Sharif is meeting Mr. Kabri and Imran?
No, as for your first question, that is our assessment. You may not agree with that, but that is our assessment. As for your second question, I would not exactly know, but that is our internal situation, and we will handle it through democratic and constitution means, and I am confident that we will be able to overcome this situation.
Yeah, please. 1 second. Just 1 second. माइक थोड़ा आगे से.
लेकिन बॉर्डर पे पीस नहीं. पिछले 20 साल में अभी तक 85 बार पीछा हुआ पाकिस्तान.
कितनी बार?
85 बार.
85 बार.
तो इस पर क्या करेंगे? क्या बॉर्डर पे पीस जरूरी नहीं?
डेफिनेटली हमारी साइड के मुताबिक पिछले जुलाई से लेकर अब तक तकरीबन 57 दफ़ा 57 टाइम्स वायलेशन हुई है भारत की साइड से. सो ये तो देखें है सीज फायर वायलेशंस हो रही हैं, और हमने 10 दिन पहले डिमांड भी किया था इंडियन गवर्नमेंट को इन इस्लामाबाद कि जो अनप्रोवोक्ड फायरिंग है इसको ख़त्म होना चाहिए. So we hope that this will come to an end.
Yes, Hari. New York Times.
Sorry, sir.
What do you think is the future of India?
I'm very confident. If our leaders are committed to this process, if they have already given us their vision, there is no need to be pessimistic about it. There have been setbacks in the past as well, but I am sure that our two countries are capable of moving past those setbacks and all make a new beginning. So I'm sure we will work together to promote the vision or to translate the vision of our leaders into reality.
Yes, please. Yeah.
So Basit, I'm Aditya Raj call from Times Now. My question is very direct. Haven't you breached the diplomatic protocol by meeting the Kashmiri separatists in Delhi? You had got a warning from the Foreign Secretary here, we are told, and even after that, even after the talks were called off, you again met them. Don't you think, can you imagine what would have happened in Pakistan if the Indian High Commissioner there would have met the Balochi separatists? Heavens are ready, would have followed. And also, my connected question, sir, is you met Kashmiri separatists. What data or what exactly is the parameter for deciding who are the representatives of the Kashmiri masses? You did not invite National Conference. You did not invite any national or regional political parties who contest democratic elections there. Kashmiri separatists, according to Kashmiri masters, do not represent them. Of course, they have been instigating passions there. What is the criteria for deciding that they, of course, have been the representative? Thank you, sir.
No, I don't think that I have reached any protocol. As I said, Jammu and Kashmir is a dispute between India and Pakistan, and both India and Pakistan agree on this, that it's a dispute. That's why it is part of the composite dialogue process. And my predecessors, everyone has been meeting them. So I don't think that, as I said, that my very respected Indian friend said that we need to look at this positively, dispassionately. As for your second question, I do not think that you drew the right analogy. Jammu and Kashmir is a different issue, and I think Indian diplomats keep on meeting. There is no problem. People from all hues and
I just
please give a chance for others. No, please don't interrupt. Yes, please. Yes, Vijay Nayak. Just be brief. It's fine. Just brief. We need to take the maximum. We are not dragging everybody.
You said that the meeting that is going on for the 20 years. What is that the new leaders of Hurriyat told you that they have not told for the last 20 years? And number two is that what kind of setback you see would be there for the trade, for power agreement, for Kafi Yojana, and all those things you say, what kind of setback will be there now for Pakistan India?
An interesting question. If you give me your address, I will send you the minutes of the meeting. A setback, as was termed by our Foreign Office, but we will overcome this setback. I am positive.
yes, please.
I have two of these questions for you. One is when you said the US is an important stakeholder in these discussions on Kashmir, will Pakistan continue to have these discussions now in your Indian state position? And my second question is, has the United States reached out to either Pakistan or India on resolving this current impasse or continuing dialogue? Thank you.
I am not aware. I did see a statement by their State Department spokesperson, but I am not aware if we have been officially contacted on this. As for your first question, as I said earlier, we believe that Kashmiris are a stakeholder in this process. So let's see how things unfold in the months ahead.
Yes, Geeta Mohan.
Geeta Mohan from UNGA. Just wanted to know, the Indian government, the first day you met with Sharif Shah, Indian government and the foreign secretary came out and said you either choose the separatists or the Indian government, or talks with the Indian government. It seems like Pakistan has chosen the separatists. And secondly, I go back to the question on the army. Should now the Indian government look at engaging army directly as well?
Thank you.
As I said, we attach enormous importance to our engagement with India, and I think in the process all stakeholders need to be consulted. So beyond that, I do not see, I cannot really add anything beyond that in answering your question. As for the second question, as I told my friend earlier, it's all speculation, and there is no formal proposal under consideration at this stage.
Yes, please. Yeah.
So my name is Kamaji. So I am a Sri I have a very simple question. You were there at the Press Club of India, and you said that...
Where, sir?
Press Club of India.
Press Club of India.
You said there that India has not provided evidence to you in 2611.
In
2611.
2611 against R630.
No, I did not say that.
So that was the headline, sir.
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
No, I said...
Okay, just a minute. The question is, Indian government has asked you several times to provide the voice samples, certified voice samples of Abdul Basit, Zakir Makri, and others, state and non-state actors who propagated the Mumbai terror attack. And these voice samples have to be corroborated with the voice samples available with the Indian government, where these
Can you give your question, please? Give your question, please. We don't have time.
That's what I'm asking.
No, give the question, please. Just be brief. Be brief.
Yeah, so that's what the question is. So when are you providing the voice samples? If you are providing them, when? If not, why?
This sample. This is a voicing sample.
I am not very aware of any such request, and this is, a question which needs to be dealt with at the technical level. So I would not engage in this.
I'll take two questions more, and that's all we do. Yes, Amrita there. Yeah. You can take the mic. Mic, please. Yeah, two questions will be only because we are not out of time. I'm sorry, I've been warned twice.
Thank you for addressing all of these issues. I just wanted to ask you briefly, what do you think the next step is? Are channels of communication open? And also, you were saying earlier that it's for Pakistan, it wasn't either or when it comes to discussion and dialogue, but that seems to be the message from South Bloc to your question.
That side, yeah. You can just answer.
I mean, in diplomacy, you do not, close the doors. You leave usually the door ajar. So I'm very positive. It has been a setback, but then our two countries need to move forward in line with our leadership's vision. So we will find a way out.
Yeah, final question, please. Yeah, there.
सर मैं प्रशांत हूँ, मैं एबीपी न्यूज़ को रिप्रेजेंट करता हूँ सर। अब जो कॉस्ट कैंसिल हो गई है फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी की, यूएनजीए की जो मीटिंग हो रही है उसमें प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और प्राइम मिनिस्टर शरीफ को मिलना था।
कहाँ पे? न्यूयॉर्क में। ओके।
ये क्या मुलाकात अब होगी या नहीं होगी?
But that, as far as I know, that meeting was never planned or finalized. So it would be wrong on my part to speculate at this stage.
Yeah, let's save the last question for me. Thank you. No more question, please. The question, Excellency, we had the former High Commissioner was a Foreign Secretary himself. We didn't have that hiccups much with the relation with the Congress. As a diplomat, how do you see yourself really have impact on the relation between India and Pakistan? Because does it really depend on diplomacy or depends on the vision of the leaders? Because what we see is neighboring country, we have lots of our neighboring dispute between neighbor. It's always the top leadership which matters, but how much diplomacy really matters between you as a diplomat based in India to bring the two countries together? Thank you.
No, it does matter a lot, and I, for one, would not underestimate diplomats' role, because I'm now in the business for the last 32 years. But I think it is important that we approach things in a manner that which are conducive or which are in line with our interests, and I'm sure that on our side and on the Indian side, diplomats will continue working towards realizing our shared objectives and the objectives or the vision which has been articulated by our leaders. So as a Pakistani diplomat, I am very confident that things will change, and we have been moving in the right direction. We have been on the right path. So this latest setback should not in any way discourage us from keep pursuing our road to peace and normal relations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. High Commissioner. Thank you very much. We leave it at this positive note that we have to... No question, please. You can ask him separately. We thank you very much for being with us, and we will leave it at this positive note that maybe India and Pakistan relation will foster in days and years to come. Thank you.